All right, y'all. If y'all are here, that means y'all already hit some poetry. If you're not, you should just stay because poetry is bomb. So you should be ready for it regardless. So, is it cool if I talk into that close? I don't even have to be that close. I guess I could kind of just talk back here. All right. Is there like a lineup or a list? I'm just inviting people. Okay, I need some like call and response type thing. Call and response. Like, when I say hey, you say ho, hey. Hey! I didn't think I was actually gonna do it. Okay, welcome to y'all to the spoken word portion of the D.O.P.E conference. My name is Kamaya True. Y'all just heard me on the panel, doing the thing. I hope that y'all have been enjoying this because this has been awesome, and I hope that it's not just going in one ear and out the other because this is some very valuable information that could change your life, Craig. So just keep that in your mind. I'm going to start off this poetry open mic with a little poem myself, and then I'm going to introduce our feature, whose name I was not informed of before I started, so I feel kind of bad. But his name is Terrence, and he's bomb. So sit back in your seat. If you feel inclined to come up here and do some poetry, please do not hesitate because we are all loving and we all want to hear your stories, and we all want to hear your trials and tribulations. So. Okay. Here's another thing. You snap inside the poem. Like if you hear something that you like in the poem, you can put a snap. But at the end, go crazy because that makes me feel good. That makes other people feel good. Like you were actually listening to their story and not just, snapping because you thought you heard something good. All right. The moonlight dances and promenades across Mother Nature's melanin-filled skin. Crickets and cicadas fill the night air, resurrecting history of a past where cross-fading melodies from different ethnicities was an abomination. White arrogance made the earth quake, buying only the best stock of black men and hanging the dead weight. Submissiveness for survival reverberates into future generations as he leaves cracks in the foundation of a black man's self-actualization as he tries to make Uncle Sam's finger foods feed his family of 5. Gang-stained streets turn into a house of mirrors. Mangled bodies foreshadow unpromising futures. Lucifer keeps knocking at the door of fragile houses fashioned from EBT cards. Broken families stand on cracked foundations built from government checks. The government plots patiently on which black community will be gentrified next, but drugs get you money in a week that would normally take a year, and finding a way to make ends meet never seems so clear. The greatest mathematician known to the boys on his block, because he could flip pounds of crack rock, splitting them into halves and giving them to the have-nots, profiting off their demise. His spot never got hot, and black children see this. And their dreams become intangible because black ignorance has become so casual that going to school is seen as impractical. Soon they turn into cannibals who thirst for the blood of their own race, guns pointed at each other's clavicles, so much hysteria it's hard to keep up with the pace. Close your eyes, shoot your gun, never look at their face, not caring who gets caught in the fire because revenge has a hell of a taste. This is reality for 48% of our race, but they say that these are excuses. Why can't you just pull yourselves up by your own bootstraps? Well, that's hard to do when you don't even know your bootstraps exist. When the only support you are getting is from WIC. When your kids go to school hungry, tummies keep rumbling, and paying attention in class is the last thing on their list. Returning to a home that has been stained with the stench of cockroaches and piss. Living in blissful ignorance, they become accustomed to this, not understanding that their ancestors used to play the roles of great kings. History etched on sacred scrolls, there were no rumpled stiltskins but turned dirt into pyramids of gold. Mythical minds made men question whether or not it was magic. Recognized brilliance and couldn't stand it, so they programmed defeat into our souls. Turned us against each other, made us hate based on different variations of the same color, told us that light was right to get us comfortable with them raping our women, made our men heartless so we could get used to the dead beach. Children seeing the same scenario played on repeat. This was supposed to be our defeat, but no. No, this is the emancipation from the chains placed on our minds, a declaration that will reverse the label designed to define us. We'll create our own reparations. Forget 40 acres and a mule, we're about to take over the cities. The projects are projecting that 98% of the troubled kids will be on Congress's standing committee. The dope boys and gangbangers have come together and constructed ways to make business deals with Warren Buffett, and it doesn't stop there. Little Lativia will be on primetime TV with an afro pick in her hair. Mahalia and Kiara will create a cure for cancer and AIDS and make modern medicine a global trade. Our past will not confine us to a set standard. It will not define us as unintelligent people that the media has slandered. We are breaking out of our low self-esteem, stomping out negativity, and creating seismic waves that will shake the next generation free. Thank you. Just a little something. Get you warmed up. Y'all feeling good? Can I get an ayo if you feeling good? Ayo. Oh my God, we live today. I like it. Okay, next we're gonna have Terrence come up and drop some fire real quick, so extinguish yourself so you can get ready for this again. Y'all clap him up, clap him up, clap him up.
Okay, I'm gonna combine like 3 poems into one. It's gonna gradually tell a story, so just stick in there with me, all right? I heard they used to put death to people like me. Even if people like me were minding their business, strolling down the wrong dirt road behind some abandoned farm, we were hung by our necks, cut by our skin, beat with shotgun butts and old yardsticks, and if we were lucky, if our mouths functioned long enough, our half-dead screams would pierce through the wind that hugged the night as our mind tried to fight off the fire that our bodies consumed, but couldn't fully endure these flames that were put to us. And it's funny. It's funny how y'all think like women weren't raped and tortured, like my skin is brown skin for no reason, like half-white babies made it more than 4 days when slavery was abroad. Them broads kill me with that old shoot 'em up. Can't call them men when they more like the last brushes. They ain't gonna see the big picture anyway, so why bother? It's like for centuries we've been dying. For centuries they've been lying. For centuries I've been trying not to let this be the reason I hate, but my blood burns. My eyes run every time I even look at a tree that resembles one a nigga was hung from. I can't stomach being whipped or being stripped because of the color of my skin, so every time I write a slave poem, my paper bleeds. They wrote us out our story. Who knew we came from glory? I was blind and my mind was defined by the lies they designed and put out before me. So just sit back and listen. This is a new resistance. I can't sit back and let this bull fly no more. I'm pissing on every lie they told, on society's mode. They trying to box me in this box again. I'm better than that. I'm speaking out against injustices, but justice is non-existent. They got us missing what the problem is. So can I rhyme like this? Tell me, is it okay to speak my mind like this? Because see, I'm kind of pissed and I got reason to be speaking out. Because ain't nobody ever tell me where I'd be without the ones that paved the way, the ones that saved the day. If we the future, I don't want my past to fade away. So give me the pen, I'll write the book myself, and I'll tell the story better than any book on the shelf. Monday morning, 7:50 a.m. Worn sneakers hold, soles hit campus pavement because time costs too much to be fresh this morning. I'm late. Again, as usual. And you would think it was too early, but the smell of weed smoke was heavy in the air. The block boys are out already. Dark silhouettes sit behind fogged up car windows. They are surgeons. Gutting Dutches, eyes searching wildly to find the least vein they cut. They have the hands of pianists, fingers moving nimbly, crushing bug-like dreams they were told were too big for them, so they pulled. But with every blunt they prove they say is wrong because they are artists. Their tongues painting backwards, wet with saliva, rolling else till they be passed in a sight, but they are magicians. From thin air they create clouds of dark smoke billowing up from blackened lips. My lungs cannot take it. But they are grown men, so they inhale deeply. I remember thinking, maybe if I laced their blunts with paper straights of poetry, they'd be high enough to reach redemption. And maybe then they'd be closer to God. But with cement on their heels and dirty money in their pockets, they were the lords of my block. And for them, that was godly enough. Thank you.
Yes, La 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 la. So do you go to school here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Senior, junior.
I'm a senior. I'm an RA over in the village.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, that was Terrence dropping flames. Okay. So now it's time for the audience to come in. Please do not feel intimidated or anything, because we just people just talking up here. So does anybody have any pieces they would like to speak? Yeah. Okay. What's your name? My brother John Muir about to come up here.
How y'all doing? I'm John Muir. I'm a sophomore JMC student. I'm an inexperienced poet, so I'll be reading somebody else's poem. His name goes by Pete Love, so y'all just bear with me, okay? Tell me, is it Beyonce, Nicki, or Rihanna? Who are you trying to be? The misconception of your idol's image leaves you miseducated on your own identity. Caught up in this whirlwind of cosmetic beauty when the temple of God bless you with your pure beauty. Get free and be who you're supposed to be. Hiding behind depicted visions of systematic decisions on what beauty is. When makeup is just an option because you know what lies below. How many times have you wished you were one of these women? In order to be suppressed your, In order to suppress your low self-esteem and self-consciousness, thoughts that showed resentment to the fact that you did it on them. Just not to be classified as basic. Foundations of phenomenal pleasures that strolls through your soul knowing you are lost in paradise. Precisely completed with true love when you look in the mirror. Do you see the sweet bronze melanin goddess so carefully created? Precisely completed with the true love when you look in the mirror. Do you see the sweet bronze melanin goddess so carefully created you formed? Please don't be the mystery of your own iniquity, fighting your soul to make up what you've lost. So tell me, will you become the queen nature called you to be? That's it.
Okay, so I know some of y'all might have been a little bit confused because some of us was doing this when he was messing up. This is just energy that you give to the poet to help them, get back on track, or just showing them that you got love here and you got to worry about messing up a little bit. So if somebody stumbles, you just give them some friction. Next. Come on. Okay. What's your name? Just for everybody.
Chris Moody.
Hey, Moody.
But everybody calls me Moody.
Brother Moody.
Dogon calls me Moody. I'm going to stand over here because I'm so tall that I will be blinded by the light. Can I do two?
Yeah, do you,
One's
bro?
really short. One's really short. I'm going to read it so that way I don't mess it up. I usually have to memorize, but I'm going to read it. It's really short. It's called Swag.
Go ahead.
Me and my niggas, head and shoulders above others, we are fly, ahead of our time, where our chains upwards, stay high on trees. Sometimes we even get lit. We hang tight like blood brothers or wind chimes. We sag, the new normal. Even white people take pictures with us. Mm-hmm. Me and my niggas turn up dead. That's it. Good flow.
What's the...
No. All right. This is going somewhere else, totally different one, but it's an old one, and I really like it. It's called. I'm gonna give you some preface to this one. There's some things that are just ineffable. You can't describe them with words, but you try to because that's the only way you can express them. So this one is called poor interpretation of love.
Go in.
No, I would get to that. I'm just smiling because I'm a smiling person. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1:1. And before my love had begun, I would have removed my left lung so my heart would have more room for you. I would have removed the right one too, but I left it there so when the spirit split the air after it pierced my side, I'd be reminded of how you take my breath away, even after I die. See, my love, it'll never change, for I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. But the love letters can contain, so I took 66 books and wrapped it in flesh just to love you to death. Love stained because I bleed the blood of a love too deep for Cupid's arrows to penetrate and make. They say that love is priceless, but I say that life is the price of love paid. And I still remember the day you asked me, how much do I love you? And I said, Rather, I spread my arms this wide because other people say they died for you, but I showed you I be crucified, lied for 3 days and rise because 4 days is just one more day than I can even be without you. Can't even sleep without you, so I ever live proclaiming the name to my Father. He loves you so much, he already calls you his daughter. I call you my bride, my beloved. I covered the ground you walk on so much, I made you out of it, just so I could hug it, hold it, mold it, betroth it with no wedding ring, with suffering, yes, drops of blood, I've lost a few, but no crown of thorn can separate my mind from the thought of you. No amount of scorn or ridicule. See, I love you. I love you. I love you true, like your name could be Judas or Chris, and you could betray me with a kiss on the cheek, and I still let your lips touch my face, because I know it will lead to a bigger embrace with holes in your wrist to lock you in safe, to confessing with the tongue too swollen to taste. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they've done. My lover, I suffered 6 hours or 360 minutes, drawing the powerless face suspended from a mental image I kept from your smile until it was finished. They say love is blind, but I don't believe that, because I loved you soon, you wouldn't love me back. So time rewinds, I do it all again to make sin return mine, so that we can end, affirm, I love you.
You got a girlfriend. She lucky. You lucky. Right? I want to be loved like that. All right. Let's not stop the vibe, the groove. Who's next? Oh, come on, y'all. Yes. You. You? Oh, I thought you. No. Yeah, I was. It looked like you was about to. Yeah. Okay. Come on. I was like, you look like you was about to say something. Yeah, hey, what's your name?
Sophia.
Come on.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Go ahead, girl.
I had 2 short ones. Let me find them.
We should have interlude music.
Right.
Get on down. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. What? Get on down. Hey, don't stop for me. And I will love you. Tunes by Kamaya.
Face value. Get to know me. You may love it. You may be disappointed. I don't care. This is me, flaws and all. Don't let anyone in the room make you feel small. Own it. The inner beauty that you reveal, the pain that you conceal, own it. Nobody else can be a better you and do the things God created for you to do. That's it for this. I'm a woman. Though I may look like a little girl, I'm a woman. Am I ready for the world? I'm a woman. I exfoliate every week. I'm a woman. Underneath this hijab, my hair is on fleek. I'm a woman. I don't want to tell all my secrets. Bean pie is my weakness. I'm a woman. Though I may look like a little girl, I'm a woman. Capturing the essence of this beautiful world.
John. All right. Beautiful poetry so far. Thank you for everybody that's had the courage to come up here and speak your piece. I really appreciate it. It's been flowing very nicely. Now it's time for the next person. Don't be shy. Solis. No. Oh, Jamal. Hey.
So, it would be useless to have a map inside of my head, for I'm scatterbrained. See, it's a strain because my thoughts disrupt each other, cutting each other off as they converse, as if they don't care what each other have to say. If you could read my mind, you'd cackle because my brain is an onion that reeks of thoughts because they aren't always the nicest. You become entangled in the weeds of negativity until you have to plow your way to the vines of where my bright side live. Before I put a dent in my self-esteem that many people question me about, there were many calluses that have finally formed in my mind when I got it right, that I scratch off and then wink at my folly like it's all fine. I displace my pride because it doesn't feel nice being knocked off my high horse. I fight my tongue because I know words can hammer relationships and break beams of trust and loyalty. I excuse myself from using insults because they turn thunderstorms into hurricanes. But I drink a mug of understanding, and that's why I can listen to everyone's story. I'm idle but aware of the somber world we live in, so my mind wouldn't develop the patina of giving up and being a performer, so my conscience always has a dirty floor to mop.
Cool. Next. I got tired of saying clever things in between. Just thought I'd go to the next. No? Okay, well, I'll do a poem again in the meantime. And please, somebody, anybody from the back row preferably, should go. Okay. This piece I wrote in high school, actually. It is not a piece that I still abide by all the time, but I should. There we have it. Okay. Y'all, I almost smacked a girl today. And not even for disrespecting me, but for disrespecting herself. What has it came to when a girl would rather be called a bitch than her given name? Is it because being a bitch is more accepted, except it degrades you, but still you accept it? Is it because it draws in all the attention that you crave, but at the cost of your dignity, and not to mention your self-esteem? But maybe that's a little bit too much for your comprehension. So I'm asking, what is it going to take to jumpstart this reinvention of a word that you find to be your saving grace? Because obviously there aren't words strong enough to take its place. Hold up. Let's just start with me. My name is Kamaya Shepsuture Kokumo Osazi. It's long, but so much history can't be contained into that 5-letter word, bitch, no. Woman. You are a woman. We give birth in arms big enough to cradle civilizations. Names that come from the cradle of civilization. It takes a certain realization to understand our history is great. History plastered on the walls of pyramids. Sanskrit soliloquies telling of how women used to rule dynasties, conquered empires, and birthed world leaders, men going to war just to please her. But it's 2016 and pleasers can only be found plastered on the walls of strip clubs. Sanskrit soliloquies turn into masochistic monologues laid on top of the beating of a woman's dignity. Beating out a woman's dignity, and bitch is used for publicity. Selling records is like selling souls for fun because he got 99 problems, but his bitch ain't one. It's funny how it comes tripping off the tongue, but I'm responsible too. Ignorant to the fact that a combination of letters could hold so many negative connotations, kept in the leather of belts and whips, used to round up our bitches off slave ships like cattle, female dogs. We were prodded and pushed to breaking points, seeing our sons lynched because Willie Lynch made the choice to kill chivalry, and even abolitionists couldn't abolish the epiphany of women fighting for a cause that needed to be demolished, but we were always there. The backbone of nations at war, Rosie the Riveter would crumble to know we are trashing the very thing she fought for. We fight for equality, to be sewn into our double-breasted tuxedos that we use to disguise ourselves from people who can't stand who we are, so we must remain deceitful, my girls, my beautiful girls. Bitch is not an adjective used to accentuate your personality. It shouldn't make you smile or laugh. This word was crafted on the backs of women who were forced to lay on their backs with pistols precisely pressed to their temples as tears rolled through the wrinkles surrounding their eyelids that they got from squinting for far too long, for that beacon of hope that one day women might be respected. So the next time the word bitch slides through your lips, remember this. We are women. Strong, beautiful, and proud. We will stand as strong as the legs Our Lady Liberty was built on, with our fists held high in the sky. You are a woman. It was a little wet. It was was from high school, so you know, I just thought that. I throw that out there. It was a little bit, but so anybody feeling inspired, even just to come up here and spit a hot 16 freestyle with no cussing? No, like minimal cussing, like no F words or H's. But if anybody freestyle, no poems, no. That go ahead. Okay. Oh, okay. The person from the back. This is Trey Kingsbury. With the name like Kingsbury, you better be hot.
Okay. My poem has a little cussing in it. I'm gonna skip over it.
Nah, I was just talking about cussing.
Oh, alright. I wrote this after walking around UNCG campus and just kind of seeing how the other side looks at more ethnic people, I guess I would say. And this is what I came up with. I'm sitting here listening to how the other side thinks. It's kind, but it has revolutionary ideas, but it's still blind to the fact that we are struggling as a people. She only sees a diluted version of her true self. She only sees a diluted version of her true self, something shrouded in unshared thoughts and blissful ignorance. The word doesn't affect me. I'm light-skinned. Good thing I'm caramel. My white roommate says nigger, but I didn't say anything. Look at these coons, big black niggas that are thirsty as hell. These are the words that are spoken against my people, from my people. Things that I have heard, things that I have never heard a white person say against me, but what I have to hear my brothers and sisters carrying on like it's okay. But it's not. We're so worried about who's the next one calling babe, that we don't hear the scrutiny in our own words. I see the consistent sense of hatred in the countenance of my soul and my brothers and sisters. This identity racism is like a blistered, rough, hard, dead skin that was always there. But we march and sing a good talk. Black Lives Matter, stop racial profiling, speak her name, but we only do it for temporary moments of fame. We like to get comments like, you saying good words, my brother, and you sure down for the cause, but you are the cause. Every time I hear the word nigga, I can't help but take it with a grain of salt. Sure, you say it with the good intentions and look at me as a companion, but I can't help but feel for the brothers and sisters that have died for that utterance. The ones that said, you know what, nah, F that. I'm no one's, I'm so sorry, y'all, I'm nervous. I'm no one's nigga. I'm a black rose. These white people should bow down to me, waiting on my every want and need while I'm here working twice as hard, getting a third of the pay. I dream for a new day when I can walk and outside and take pleasure from what people have to say. But of course, that's too much like right. Instead, I have to hear my own people say that I can't do that right.
Y'all got talent, real talent. Hope y'all know that. Next. Okay. Don't do this, y'all. Come on. Somebody, anybody, everybody. Scream. Oh, Jamala again. No.
So I'll call this poem Signs. I take every happening as a sign, evil or divine. You ever heard of that? Everything happens for a reason? Oh yeah, I know that's that same old line. But think about it though, what could these signs mean? If you were to say I hate you to your mom and 5 minutes later you bite your tongue, how many lines would it take for you to read it between? I never said that to my mother, but you catch my drift. Everything you do and say can work for and against you. The results may be instant or come back with a positive or negative shift. Even your thoughts can be your rise or downfall. One day they can be a blue and sunny sky, and the next they could be a dark gray cloud coming with the thunder and lightning to give you a call. I wish I was told you reap what you sow, but you don't realize the weight of your actions until you're crushed by your folly. And when it all falls down and you realize your mistakes, you have that sarcastic demeanor of, well, isn't this gentleman?
Well, it's been lovely, guys, and I hope that we can continue this. Does anybody feel compelled and it just doesn't know if it's the right time? Because I assure you that it is. Like, this is that moment right here. Open it. Oh, we have some? Yes. We have Dr. Slay coming to the stage here. Dr. Slay.
So, I'm going to do, it's a poem that I wrote so long ago. I feel like it was a whole different life. When I wrote the poem, you know, I was out there doing counseling, and, you know, the poem is, I was debating whether to do it because it kind of has this bring you down tone to it. But the reason why I like to go back to it is because for me, you know, even though it has this sad tone to it, it reminds me of how important the healing work is. Like, that when we're talking about healing, we're talking about liberation, that we are talking about life and death. And so that's what this poem is about. And hopefully I'll be able to remember it from all these years ago. If not, just bear with me. Okay, so the poem is called Pins and Needles. And I wrote it a lot of years ago when I used to work doing substance abuse counseling. And not about anybody's individual story, but more a collage of stories. So the poem is called Pins and Needles. It's gonna be different this time. It's gotta be different this time. A mother apologizes to her 12-year-old daughter and her 12-year-old son for the 100th time while sitting on pins and desperately wanting a needle for her arm. It's gonna be different this time. It's gotta be different this time. A mother apologizes to her 12-year-old daughter and her 12-year-old self for the 100th time, because in order to make it back to the 29th year that is today, she had to relive the 13 years of abuse, the 14th year pregnancy, the year 15 rape that forced her to the needle. It's gonna be different this time. It's gotta be different this time. A mother apologizes to her 12-year-old daughter and her 12-year-old self for the 100th time while sitting on pins and desperately wanting a needle for her arm. It's gonna be different this time. It's gotta be different this time. It is different this time. A 12-year-old daughter finds her mother with the needle in her arm.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you, Dr. Cornett. You got bars, man. Bars for days. Like jails and Milky Ways. Yeah, we have time for one more. So, if anybody is feeling compelled to come up here and share your beautiful heart with the rest of us, it'd be lovely. I'm trying to look for faces of people looking down at their phones because they have poems pulled up maybe, and nobody. Come on, y'all.
I have a friend who's a little scared.
Okay.
To do something. Is
that Jeray?
No, it's not.
Jeray, come on. I mean, what is there to be afraid of, though? It's Solis?
Yeah, it actually is Solis.
Oh, Solis. Yeah. And you can read it off your phone.
More with me. So it's
Okay. Well, I guess I could do one more unless somebody definitely wants to come, and that would be great because I feel like I've been talking a lot. I feel like y'all tired of hearing me talk. So nobody? All right. Okay, so the poem that I'm about to do to close it out, since nobody wants to step up, it came from, my mom is a teacher, and we moved here from Atlanta my junior year of high school, and for better opportunities because she thought that it would be better here. And we weren't living, we were like right below, you know, that little in between where you're not making enough to like support your family to the fullest extent, but you make too much to get welfare and aid. That's where we were and I feel like we're still here. And having this really profound effect on me, because I'm like, what's the point? You know, she went to Boston University, she went to Georgia State, she got a master's, she got all of these accolades and everything, and we're still here. And she could have literally just gotten pregnant at like 16 and lived off the system, and I would have everything I ever wanted, you know? And so it's like, what do I do here now? And that's where this poem came from. I guess we will spend Thanksgiving in the donation line again. Hoping that all the good turkeys aren't gone, we are in this donation line again, and I'm looking down. Not because I'm embarrassed, but because I'm looking at everyone's shoes. Jordans, Nike, Air Max, and I'm sitting here in Airwalks with holes, not so I can feel the breeze on my toes, but because we can't afford new shoes right now. My mom's teaching salary can't afford life right now, December. Ramen noodles and oatmeal is what we'll have for dinner. Tonight we burn through paychecks like they've been soaked in gasoline written to us with the intent to ignite. The smoke becomes heavy, and it gets hard holding your breath until the end of the month. Our gas stove will be our source of heat for tonight, because this is the nightmare before Christmas, and old Saint Nick didn't stick the Christmas spirit in the power guide. Trying to find warmth in these hypothermic blankets, and I'll never forget, because it was 6th grade, the day we learned about upper, middle, lower class, and these extraordinary stamps that provided to you by your favorite Uncle Sam. This unsanctified Jesus was feeding the masses by breaking the bread of the middle class in half. The welfare office looked like the gates of heaven. Walking in proud because these stamps would be licked and placed neatly in the corner of every overdue bill that was finally getting paid because we finally got some help. Single mother feeding families of 5 has never been easy, but today I knew my oatmeal eating days were over. The woman slumped her shoulders and said, "I'm sorry, ma'am. You make too much money to qualify. You see, your family stands on a fragile foundation that the government is ready to liquidate. Redistribute your demise into the pockets of more worthy Americans. It doesn't matter that you don't make enough to support your family. You just don't meet the criteria. Oh, and welcome to the lower middle class, the in-betweeners, the people that can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's not an inspiration. Just a reminder that you'll never be able to reach it, a prisoner in the system since 1996. Virgin to the experience of $1,000 refund checks, but has stared into the eyes of a mother broken but trying to survive, and I don't understand how you feel comfortable letting us live in limbo, forever falling but making just enough not to hit the ground." I wanted to end on a happier note, and I realized it wasn't a happy poem once I got like midway, and I was like, oh, probably shouldn't end on this. But thank y'all for coming out and sharing your stories and listening to the greatness that we had today. Thank you for everybody that put this together. Thank you for sticking in here this long and listening. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all so much with all my heart. And be blessed out here. You know, it's raining and people dying, so don't let it be you, I guess. That was somber. Live like there's no tomorrow, guys. Woo! Just real quick, since everybody's already here, I don't want to take the 10-minute break in between that it has on your program. Everybody that worked really hard on this, we would just like to thank you all for coming out. We hope that you feel enlightened. I know I do, and as you guys are all walking out, just again, thank you. And this is something that, you know, it happens every year, so please become a part of it. Talk to Dr. Quinay, talk to Dr. Lee, Professor Dogon, Dr. Robinson, everybody who helps with this. I just hope that you guys appreciate all the hard work that we've been putting in this past week and all semester, scrambling to get this together for you guys. Again, we just appreciate you all for coming out, and I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw today. That was way better.